Okay, I'm back on the site where I cleared the ATV trail, and today we're going to be putting in a gravel driveway extension coming up from this base all the way up to the garage in the back. It's going to be about 12 feet wide and curve up through here. And then back up around here to connect to this driveway. And then across here is the electrical that goes to the garage. I dug on both sides of this line and I didn't see anything, but only time will tell. And the actual soil here looks like it's pretty gravelly and will be a great base, so I really only have to strip a couple inches, I think. And what I'm going to be putting in is 3/4 inch minus, so it's just a 3/4 inch mix with dust and sand and whatever else finds. And over here we can see that the client put in some grass seed where I cleared, and that's coming in. And this area is looking pretty sweet. And then everything I stripped from the driveway top, I'm going to be putting over here in this valley almost that's been run down, washed out, where there's a bunch of exposed roots and rocks. So I'm going to start from the top here and work my way down because it'll be easier to dig that way, and I'll be able to dump stuff over here a bit easier. Okay, so I believe I've gotten past the electrical line and the hose. I don't believe they are shallow enough that I would hit them, thank God. And realistically, a lot of this right here is just rock, gravel, and sand right below the top, like 2 to 3 inches. So I'm just going to strip the turf and, you know, those 2 to 3 inches off the rest of this pathway down here all the way to the pile. And won't have to do too much digging because I think there's only a couple of stumps and roots in here, and then we should be on to putting gravel down. Then I haven't really been able to get the camera over here, but I've just been dumping all of the soil over here, trying to fill in those ruts that he had. I'll just kind of continue down this way and fill all this in. Alright, so I've made the initial cut through here, pretty much got all of the turf and organic soil off the top. What I'm going to do now is go back through with the box blade and clean up any of the ruts and holes and extra topsoil that may be in there. While I'm doing that, I'm going to clean up the edges with the shovel, get that out of there, and after that it should just be laying down fabric and putting on gravel. Alright, so I have the whole base of the driveway cleared out now. I'm pretty much just down to ripping up stones, rocks, gravel, and sand. There's no more topsoil. I went around and cleaned up the edges. So now what I'm going to do is go through and put down some geotextile type fabric for the base. That'll just help give it some more support and keep it from sinking into this material. But this material is pretty packed, and I think it'll make a good base regardless. So really, for what the client's using it for is just getting back to his garage when necessary, not a daily use or a high traffic road, so should work well. All right, a little short on the geotextile fabric, but I just put it on the outside here, so when he's driving up and turning, this should be what's probably going to be taking the most weight and abuse on this side, so should be good otherwise. Alright, so the estimate for how much base pack we'll need was off by a bit. Originally, the client sent that it was a 130-foot long driveway by 12 feet, and it is 12 feet, but it's more like 180, 185 feet long, and I actually ended up wanting to use more gravel than I thought to crown the center. So I've been trying to keep it packed pretty thick where I can, because I don't want it to be too thin. So I'm gonna have to talk with the client and get some more gravel in. I'm pretty sure that just get another 30 tons basically, and that'll cover all the way up through here just fine, up to the back of that driveway, and give us maybe even a little bit extra to play around with. Okay, so I'm back on the job to put in the gravel driveway here. Had another 30 tons delivered, and I will be spreading it and crowning it throughout the rest of the driveway. Okay, so I just finished up here, got the driveway area cleaned up, and this whole gravel driveway graded. So this will give him a nice pathway to get up here to his garage. So all the stuff that I put in here was 3/4 inch minus, and maybe next year he might put in some just 3/4 topping, so having it tailgated or spread on the top of this base. And this base packs in really nicely, so shouldn't have a problem of it being squishy. Just going to develop potholes as they always do. Alright, so that's probably the last big job of the season. It is the end of November now, and I have 1 or 2 small jobs that I'm probably not going to film, and if anything pops up, then I'll film it. But since it's getting to be cold out and rain and snow is planned for the next week, I don't expect I'll be doing too much in the near future. So I figure videos will be more sparse, but there could be some various home activities that I deal with, like spreading out that sand and any other small things that are worth filming for the channel. Time to pack up and go home.